Hi, Aries. Let's take the superhero masks off, huh? If you are not flexible, and if you spread yourself too thin, and if rigidity sets in, things can get very tough in October. But if we're not looking to change anyone's mind, if we have no desire to bend anyone to our will, and if what we really desire is peace, harmony, and abundance, then, Aries, in October, you will bend. You will not break. If you let them, people can be a very important window into seeing yourself properly. A very honest mirror, if you will. They can show you where you're poisoning yourself. It's a great time to start a new diet. A great time to get limber and agile. Stretch. Why? Because the more flexible you are, the more security and stability seeps into your life. It's actually quite wonderful because it's very different and very decent. But what comes with it is an honesty that you will learn to adapt to. It won't be easy first. You don't want to hear about what you're doing wrong. Never. But the Four of Wands says that a relationship is quietly coming into your sphere. The thing with Aries and relationships is that you want it to be exactly the way you want it to be. And while I commiserate, I understand, it is next to impossible to get another human being to do that. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Ten of Swords. The money is wonderful, but if you don't know how to manage your feelings and you are rigid in every aspect of your life aside from making money, the other parts of your life start to fall apart. The money's still there, but so very, very important to sort out your emotional life, to allow people to go back into the past with you, talk to you about what has happened before, what they liked, what they didn't like. Allow yourself to revise your needs. Do you like people because they genuinely add to your life? Or do you need people? Along with that flexibility comes rest. Rest from feeling like you have been betrayed, like you have been deceived. Rest from the mind that works too fast and comes up with too many different scenarios of what may have happened. The thing about flexibility is that it allows your fate to flow to you. You haven't demanded that the universe give you only and exactly what you want. That can make things very painful and very difficult. So, although nobody out there is a fan of not getting what they want, there is a huge difference between demanding a very specific thing and being grateful for overall abundance, strength, connectivity, family. Balance. By the time your planet is done retrograding in your sign, you will be different. All that stretching yourself back into the past and stretching yourself out into the future to understand yourself better, to understand the people around you. After you've rested from all of that, you will feel a new you emerging. New thoughts, new feelings, new needs. You'll figure out finally why there's been such a rush always to feel something. As if you were worried that if you didn't feel it every minute, it might not be real or it might go away. What happens when you've spent your life thinking something is ephemeral and then you realize actually that it's rock solid and that it's inside you? The emotional ups and downs of October are jarring and not easy to deal with. But I promise you, if you stretch, it turns out so beautifully. It's just a test to see if you want your way more than you want to be happy. Love you.
Hi Aries, welcome to the second part of your reading. I hope, unlike Libra, you could hear everything fine. And of course, as I say that, the construction going on across the street seems to begin right on cue. Ahaha! The noise between the message, the messenger, and you. I think you would be flexible and pretty pretty accepting of a flexible approach if you could hear the logic of the thing right. This Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, the level, the depth at which it creates misunderstanding is phenomenal. And your Mars retrograde makes you such a live wire, a trigger. So it's not that I don't want you to think that I am somehow implying that you don't know how to be flexible, or that there's some sort of a natural inborn rigidity to Aries, because there isn't. That's not what I mean. I mean that the places where you should be flexible, your intuition and the way you're going to read things is going to make you think that those are the places where you should, in fact, stand your ground and make an issue. That's a mistake. Either way that you decide to do it, it's a very balanced time. You can be happy, Four of Wands, within yourself. You can attract more and more and more, Ace of Pentacles. You can let go of the hurt, the fear, the pain that you've been carrying on, 4 or 5 years? If you go back and listen last year, I'll say 2-3 years, still carrying it around. And then you can go through a period of recovery, Four of Swords. And it is in that recovery, as the planets in Capricorn go direct, it's in that recovery that you start to unearth some very, very, very deep hurts. There's levels, and at each level you are going to feel like you are being poked and provoked, and you are going to want to react. But the reason that the mom in the story is the one that's, what was her name? Elastigirl? Is because that's the strongest power. The thing that can bend and bend and bend and bend and bend will not break. Sometimes I almost feel like you want to break. Like you run towards it. And funnily enough that we talk about it, because I'm just rambling, but in October, 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords, you get to find out what that impulse within you is all about. Why it's always been there, why you have it, and how you can really embrace both sides of yourself right now. The side that you've never processed, that you're now looking at with deep, thoughtful, Libran intellect, and even deeper, even more thoughtful, obsessive Scorpio. You're finding out that the part of yourself that you've put away for a long time, not that scary and not in as much pain as you thought, probably healed up a while ago. You just refuse to interact. Haha! I know I'm so annoying, right? I know. I know it myself sometimes, but only sometimes. So, what do we do then? We allow this journey, and we allow the pain that it brings, the change that it will bring. The sorrow followed by a true sense of wholeness. A new you that will attract new opportunities. Oh God, that Virgo, what the H? The siren's going off. Dude, look. It goes so well with the sirens. And this is very applicable, this reading, to Aries Venus. Because although it is about money and keeping your cool and all of this, the true work is very Venusian right now. It's all about your heart. These swords, you know, they want out of there. That's the thing. When you do that to yourself, when you put part of yourself away because you're hurt, you don't realize that what you're doing is you're leaving a wound with a weapon in it. It's not like you took the weapon out, you cleaned it, you disinfected it, you stitched it up, and you bandaged it, and then you left it alone. That would be healing. But if you're just gonna act like it didn't happen, that's tantamount to having, you know, a sword stuck in you that's now going to cause infection, even more pain, and ultimately something that wasn't fatal becomes so from neglect. Yeah. And then that's going to lead you down the road of, now we're getting into the extended, this is how I talk in the extended, and that's going to lead you down the road of, how did I learn to neglect myself? How did I learn to attract neglect in others? How did I learn to use neglect or somehow conflate neglect with care and affection? Ooh, yikes. It's a lot of work. But listen, you know, that's the thing. For me, it's these months. It is. It's these months that are the most exciting, the most fruitful, yes, it's painful. Okay, sure. So what? I'll say it again. It's not like you don't like pain. You're just stubborn. You want the pain on your own terms. But this is healing. Healing doesn't happen on your terms. It's not like you tell your skin to heal up and then it does. I mean, sure, some part of you does, but not this part of you that wants to direct this thing. You've kept it at bay as long as you could, and now the planets are shifting in a way that it's just got to come out. And plus, how do you expect to move forward, really truly move forward, and give anybody any sort of chance if you just refuse to address the wound? Truth be told, I could have done Dead Man for you guys very easily. I just didn't want to antagonize you. You know. I almost did it again for Virgo, but I knew they would get really mad. Do you see? You see. Good. And the extended will go through one by one, clarify the cards, the signs, etc. It's super fun. People are really enjoying. And all the links for all the things, including extended readings, personal readings, rings, revolution rings, and the like, merchandise, daily horoscope. All of those links are below. So just click that see more thing there. And it'll all be there, because sometimes you guys comment on that, and where's the extended reading? It's all right below the reading. Love you, love you. Bye. Hi Aries, welcome to your extended. Okay, let's see what's under this Ace of Wands. This is a really good time for you. It really, really is. It really, really is. It just, it doesn't, read well on paper. Because you're like, do you see the same cards I see? Yes, I see the same cards you see. It's not that. It's just that there's so much opportunity for growth. There's so much, you box yourself in. You box yourself in, and I know no one's ever going to say it to you, but you play it safe. And when you play it safe and you stay in the same spot, doing the same thing, because, then you don't have to worry about anything. That's just done. But you're not challenged. You're not motivated. You're not doing something you really like, that thrills you, that you love, that you feel excited, that you're, jumping out of bed to be like, yes, I want to do this. It makes me feel so good. Like, it makes your brain sizzle, as my best friend says. Like, when you decide that feeling and that output that you can create when you feel that way is not the choice you want to make for how you live your life, things get very difficult. Not because you're not comfortable. Sure, you're comfortable. They get difficult because you're not happy. You see, that's what it is. That's what you lose when you repress and suppress and keep moving forward. That's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with coping that way. This is not to attack you, because I know, the defensive side of you, it comes up quick. But the work that you're doing now, it has everything to do with being more honest with yourself about the things that you hide from yourself, the things that you take from yourself, the things that you don't even allow yourself to begin to do, to even let yourself be interested in trying to do. Now in October, especially when we get into like more spookier, like Scorpio season, you really, really, Libra, listen, I'll put it like this. Libra season is the scalpel that's gonna reopen this wound that is just not healing. It was never taken care of. It needs to be cut back open. This weapon needs to be pulled out of it, right? All that, like, that is Libra season. All that steel, all that metal, all that like analytical kind of like caring. And then, boom, Scorpio season. The deep, deep, deep tissue now has to be put back together, disinfected, healed, understood, reintegrated into the body, used again. But it has to be smarter, it has to be stronger. It doesn't ever want this to happen again. Do you see how lucky you are to be going through this deep of a healing? In such a deep season
which will then have a Mercury retrograde. So you're able to track the depths of these wounds pretty much to the source. A lot of people working with their childhood trauma this month. So, really, really positive